I heard a small video clip about the CISI body.
The Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment is the leading professional body for securities, investment, wealth and financial planning professionals. Our mission is to continue to set standards of professional excellence, promoting the highest level of competence and integrity to our members, individuals and member firms.
On the 10th of February 1992, in a building just behind me, now replaced by a skyscraper, was the London Stock Exchange. And from there, the Securities Institute was formed. It was designed to provide knowledge, skills and above all, integrity.
CISI's international reach is genuinely global. We're operating all over the world.
Becoming part of the CISI gives you the advantage of belonging to a long-standing global professional body, which has high standards of ethics at its core. Our most popular exams are MiFID II compliant and recognised by major international regulators.
We're really pleased that our qualifications are recognised by authorities around the world. So that means that people that take those qualifications know that they carry a level of official recognition.
Our office in Sri Lanka opened in 2012 with just 5 people. Today we employ over 10 times as many, and Colombo is the international hub. We also work closely with local regulators, leading financial firms as well as the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Ministry of Finance and local trainers to help all Sri Lankans enhance their skills, develop their knowledge so that the country can grow to be a regional financial powerhouse.
The purpose and importance of CPD is really making sure people keep up to date. Fast changing world, and we're doing our very best to make sure that CISI members can keep up.
The CISI's mission is important for financial services because financial services are built on trust. And customers want to know that the firms and the individuals within the firms act with the highest standards of professionalism and integrity at all times.
For a long time, formal training in financial services was confined to commercial bank. But CISI has broadened it and brought in areas like risk management, wealth management and financial planning services into the training ambit.
Well, I think the CISI has not only had a mission, but it has been able to help organizations like the SCC, the Bank of Ceylon, which is the largest commercial bank, the central bank, and a number of other institutions to realize much more than what I call the bottom line. And one in particular initiative that I have been very encouraged that CISI had done is the integrity at workplace.
Being a member of the CISI tells your clients, it tells your colleagues, it tells your regulators that you're striving to maintain the highest professional standards alongside the other members that we have internationally. The CISI exams that you hold are globally portable, and also to help you develop your skills, we have an extensive membership offering.
Membership is open to all, so come and join us. Be a professional.
Once again, good evening all. I warmly welcome you all on this pleasant evening for first free induction and lectures of Listing Financial Services program with Academy of Finance. Now, let's listen to agenda of the day. Introduction of the Academy of Finance and CISI, a brief introduction about the Risk in Financial Services program, a learning content of the program, and how does the assessment mechanism works on, and about the financial commitment, then the code of conduct, and you will get to know lead module facilitators. Also, you will get to know the staff of Academy of Finance, and we'll get to know about your colleagues in the class. What is CISI? Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment. The CISI is the largest body most widely respected professional body for the securities and investment profession in the UK and financial centers globally, which formed in 1992 by London Stock Exchange for practitioners, also global community of 45,000 members in over 100 countries. The CISI is completing its 12 years in Sri Lanka. Also, we, the Academy of Finance, affiliated with the CISI more than 12 years. Mr. Simon Culhane is Chief Executive Officer of CISI. Mr. Asanka Wijeratna, Head of Business Development of CISI, and Mr. Kapila Dodamgoda, the Managing Director of Academy of Finance. Let me introduce Mr. Kapila Dodamgoda. Mr. Kapila Dodamgoda is the founder and the Managing Director of Academy of Finance and Regional Director of ICMA Australia Sri Lanka region. During his professional career, he has worked in Haley's as an engineer, Vanikin Corporation in Trade Financing and Corporate Finance Division. Later, at Mars Holdings, he has worked as a General Manager, Overseas Operations in Madagascar, Vietnam, and India. Mr. Kapila was also the Finance Director for Mars Investments. He holds a bachelor's degree in Electronics and Telecommunication from the University of Moratuwa and a master's degree in Economics from the University of Colombo. He is also Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant UK and the Institute of Certified Management Accountant Australia. He holds associate memberships with the Chartered Institute of Marketing, Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, and the Institute of Engineers Sri Lanka. Mr. Kapila is a key resource person for finance programs conducted by a number of professional bodies and large corporates. Apart from CISI Risk in Financial Services program, we are conducting classes for global financial compliance as well as international certificate in wealth and investment program. So let me hand over the session to Mr. Kapila Dodamgoda. Sir, it's over to you.
Thank you, Amira. Once again, good evening to all of you. We will be welcoming you on behalf of the Chartered Institute of Securities and Investments and the Academy of Finance for this induction session for the 13th batch of CISI Risk in Financial Services program. Just to begin with, Academy of Finance has been founded 13 years ago with the objective of empowering the professionals with financial wisdom. So we are a very focused educational institute looking at finance-related qualification. And in our mission, we do train and educate finance professionals to achieve different levels of specialized qualifications, as well as non-finance professionals to be comfortable and knowledgeable in finance so that they can broaden their horizon. Risk in Financial Services qualifications, in fact, is a comprehensive global introduction to the major risk areas in financial services, according to the way it is defined by CISI. And it provides a good sound grounding in the principles of risk management framework, corporate governance, and risk oversight. And of course, those who complete the Risk in Financial Services program will be eligible to use ACISI, Associate of the Chartered of Securities and Investment designated letters as well. So going forward, I'll tell you more about the qualifications within the next couple of minutes. Of course, the CISI qualification in different parts of the world have different types of recognitions. Now, for example, the specific diagram I show you is applicable to the UAE, SCA, but apart from the GCC countries and many other markets, these are recognized. Now, say, for example, I just show you to get an idea. For example, now there are certain professional areas where you need to have some sort of a licensing to operate in these countries. Say, you can see these are the different areas where the employment opportunities are available. And these are the different modules. Say, for example, if you want to be a promoter in these countries, risk in financial services qualification, along with other subjects, will help you to be licensed as a promoter. And then if it is to be as investment manager, investment chief, again, risk in financial services, with these combinations of modules will help you to be licensed in that. Financial analyst, again, risk in financial services, along with the subjects will help you to get that licensing. Risk management officer, again, risk in financial services combined with these subjects. So as you can see, trading operations, of course, is a different module, operational risk. But as you can see, so this is one area in the current context, as well as from employment opportunities point of view, which has a good recognition, especially in certain countries, for you to have a practicing license. If you do it with a combination of other modules, so that will be of true value to you. Having said that, if you look at who are the participants whom we get this program, as well as whom it can be beneficial, it will be useful for the members of risk teams, especially the financial institutions, as well as any other organizations, large organizations especially, and branch management teams, and corporate lawyers who are involved in corporate activities, and finance officers and members of finance team. And not only the finance team, it is the risk teams, finance teams, as well as senior managers of all disciplines, whatever discipline that you are engaged in, that will still be useful. And last not least, all the existing and non-executive directors whose scope of responsibilities are getting broader and wider. So these are some of the key categories who will be benefiting by participating in the Risk in Financial Services program. And of course, what I'm going to tell you now, I'm just going to give you a flavor only, because your able facilitator will take you through this in much more detail today. But what you'll be learning as contents of this module would be about the risk management framework and international risk regulation, operational and the risk in different areas, which would include operational risk, credit risk, market risk, investment risk, liquidity risk, and about the corporate governance and risk level related activities. And then you will also be learning about modeling risk as well as on enterprise risk management. So these are the 10 modules that you'll be participating when you take part in this CISI locally, as well as you see some global parties. But these are some of the supporters of CISI, especially the local companies, the banks, financial institutions, and other institutional bodies. Some of them are mentioned here. Having said that, I told you from our perspective, basically what is Academy of Finance, what is CISI, and what this program is all about. Before we move further, we have invited Mr. Asanka Vijayaratne, who is the country head of CISI in Sri Lanka, and he will take a couple of minutes and tell you about the Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment and their qualification framework. I would now like to invite to Mr. Asanka. Asanka, are you there?
Yes, Kapila, can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. Yes, Asanka.
Thank you for the introduction. I think you did majority of my job, which is to explain. You gave a comprehensive explanation of the qualification of ours. So let me just tell you a bit about the Colombo office and our relationship with the Academy of Finance. We have a history of, we've been here for 11 years. I think ever since inception, Academy of Finance has been a training provider for us. And they've given an invaluable service in terms of quality of training to everything it has been great. So they've been standing with us and growing with us ever since we've started our operations in Colombo. So again, I have to thank the team and Kapila for their valuable service they're providing in promoting our qualifications in Sri Lanka. So bit about our London office is we have a rich history. We evolved from the London Stock Exchange. Originally, it was a group of directors that identified that there was a huge gap in knowledge in capital market within London Stock Exchange. They set up a department as a training arm, and then later they realized there was a huge demand outside. So that very group of directors moved out and formed a company called the Institute for Securities and Investment. And subsequently in 1992, we received the Royal Charter, and that's when we changed our name to Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment. We've had great people heading our operations, providing us with sharing us with their experience. So the difference in a professional qualification as opposed to an academic qualification is we get industry feedback up to about 70% of our content. Having said that, risk in financial services, any of our qualifications, including the global financial compliance, which sits at certificate level, meets the international industry benchmark standard. So you can be rest assured, as Kapila said, the qualification you've signed up for to do, which is just one subject, surprisingly or not, hundreds of study hours. With classroom, it can be a bit more, but is very, very highly reputed. We didn't see the need actually to develop further qualifications at higher levels in risk. That's why we've stopped at this, but you can progress yourself up to postgraduate level in compliance if you wish to move forward. Again, Academy of Finance, I would recommend you as the training provider throughout your study time with CISI. So those are a few other advantages. You could apply for associate membership if you pass this program, and we are in continuous professional development platform is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art high-tech. We even have an app now which you can make payments and clock in your CPD hours. Absolutely comprehensive, and on any topic, like even as new as climate risk, sustainable finance, all those topics. In any of those topics, you want to keep yourself current. That's the advantage of membership, is you have that opportunity. You only have to pay the subscription and ample of reading material to exams, to anything. Even the exams you do, once you complete the exam, you will get a e-certificate to show that you've actually done reading and understood the module. So those are great advantages. Of course, globally, we also partner with HSBC, Nomura Coutts, Bank of Scotland. We have RBS, UBS, Coutts, Nomura. All of these guys are global supporters. Deutsche City, all of them. So it's a globally recognized qualification, and as Kapil also said, a lot of regulators. So our strength is our relationship with regulators. Now, even locally, we have signed up with regulators, and globally also, mainly in developing markets. The developed markets, it's a bit difficult to penetrate those markets, but developing markets like Nigeria, Dubai, all those, we have very strong presence in terms of our relationship with those regulators. So most of them don't want to do their qualifications, and they hand it over to us. So if you go through our product portfolio, you'll notice that we have quite a few regulatory papers that we develop, which is available for any of you if you are interested. So that's basically, in a nutshell. It's very easy study. It's multiple choice questions. what is good is not easy, what is easy is not good, I believe. So I'm not frightening you or anything, but I'm sure you're in capable hands. The training providers, the lecturers are fantastic panel. So I've known them, I've worked with them. So you're in safe hands. And all I can say is only advice I would say is don't keep it for too long. After you finish complete your training, do the exam as soon as possible, because you need to attempt it while it's fresh in your mind. So revise a bit, give yourself time to revise, because it's multiple choice, online, computer based. There is flexibility in you selecting the date for the exam. Any weekday of your convenience, you can take the exam, but that very reason can make you feel a bit lazy and want to keep postponing. If you do that, you have to start from scratch. So my advice is, as soon as the program is finished, to register and take the exam. So that's basically all I would like to say. I think most of it was covered by Kapil, and you'll get an in-depth knowledge about the program through the training, the lecturers. So thank you so much. This is mainly to give you face. I represent CISI, so you will be writing to me for registration work, and anything that you need, you will be writing to you, and I will be forwarding your request to our relevant departments. So this is to give you a face of whom you will be writing to, and don't feel bad to trouble me anytime. My contact details are with Academy of Finance. They will share it with you. So any clarification or any help you need, please give me. I'm available to help you guys out. So all the very best. Hope you see this program through and sit for the exam and pass. Thank you. Kapil, any questions? I don't think there's any question, is it?
Any quick questions? We'll be going through the details later, but if you feel that there's any quick clarification you need from Asanka, you can take a couple of minutes to do so. The audience will be free to take quick clarifications in the next couple of minutes from the Institute. Okay, Asanka. So then if there's anything, we will take the question, take them through. Sorry, was anyone trying to speak?
No, that was me, Kapila. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So so then we will take the questions at the end of the session. Then if there's anything, we'll direct it to you.
Please do. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Asanka, taking your time in this evening with all your schedules. And we really appreciate that. And we'll ask them to get in touch with you for any further clarification.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Okay. So let's move forward. Right. So now let me take this opportunity to introduce your facilitator for this session. Your facilitator is Mr. Chaminda Kumar Siri, who has done this program. I think he's delivering this program for about the 10th time now. And he's actually a senior management consultant with more than 20 years of experience in the corporate sector, holding senior leadership positions in leading blue chips and multinationals. He has held the position of Financial Controller, Bank of Ceylon, CFO at Lanka Hospitals, and AVP at HSBC Securities Services. And he has also been a Director of Telecommunications Regulatory Commissions, that is a TRC Sri Lanka, and a Governing Council member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka. He also has been a member of the International Panel on Accounting Education at the International Federation of Accountants, that is IFAC. And Chaminda is an independent non-executive director of SDB Bank PLC, chairing the Board Audit Committee, Board Human Resources and Remuneration, Board Integrated Risk Management Committees. And lecturer, he's also a lecturer at several state and private education institutions and universities, and also with the Academy of Finance. Actually, Chaminda has been a lecturer with us for, I think, by now close to 11 or 12 years. And as you can see from his profile, so as financial services professionals, he has served within the financial services sector as a CFO of a bank, and also in a securities services organization. And now he's in the board of a financial institutions and chairing audit committees and in the board risk management committees. So in terms of the qualifications as well as experience and exposure, he is one of the best for this program because he's a fellow chartered accountants and also fellow CMA, fellow, and he's an MBA and BSc accountancy degree with all this background and a blend of qualifications experience. So he has been have a very effective delivery sessions on this program. Charminder, you can just say hi to them until I just in a little while until handing them over to you fully. Charminder, are you there with us? Right, let's move on. He will be, if he's not there, he'll be. Charminder?
Hi, Kapila. Good evening, everyone. Maybe I will get in touch with you after the introduction. Thank you, Kapila, for this introduction. We'll get in touch.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Charminder. So very soon I'll be handing over the team to you. And you have already been, these are staff members. Some of them you may have already been in touch. So Pavitra, Yamira, and Himasha, these are front end. So you would have received communications and information and got registered probably through one of them, most likely, or made inquiries through them. And once you get registered with regard to your day-to-day lectures and other operational matters, you'll be communicating mostly with Himali, Upeksha, and Rumeza and Hansi. And from our finance department, you'll be getting in touch with Madhavi and Renuka occasionally. So these are our team members. So let's move forward. So now you've got a reasonable idea of what is Academy of Finance, what is CISI, what is the Risk in Financial Services program, and also about the facilitator who is going to take you through this module. But let me take a couple of more minutes to help you to explore this qualification and what you're getting into clearer. Once you finish the learning modules, you will be facing a computer-based examination, which is a 2-hour examination paper. And you will be given 100 multiple choice questions with a pass mark of 70%. So this is the structure of the paper. 2-hour MCQ paper, which is online, and you need to score 70% in order to complete the qualification. Okay, and then you are either you are registered or you are going to be registered with the Academy of Finance, and what you're going to get upon registration will be the CISI official text, right? You'll be getting the CISI official textbook, the comprehensive textbook, which is CISI material. And you will be joining our virtual classes. Basically, you will be having 50 hours of face-to-face, the virtual classes minimum. And we do have a very comprehensive e-learning system, e-learning portal rather. And once we finish a lecture, most likely within 24 hours, in a very structured manner, all these lectures will be uploaded into the e-learning portal and you will be getting access to them. And at your convenience, at your own pace, whatever the number of times that you need to go through within the duration of the program, and a couple of more months until you complete the program, roughly 3 months until after you finish your study sessions, you will be having access to these recorded sessions and our e-learning portal. So the recorded sessions and the e-learning portal will have the recorded sessions as well as the presentations that the lecturers are going to take you through, and the mini quizzes from the beginning. Basically, you'll be having mini quizzes from the beginning. What you're going to do is once you complete about about a month or so through your program. We do have some simple quizzes from each topic, right? And then you will be getting access to a e-learning system once you complete the documentation and everything. And once you start releasing these mini quizzes one by one, so topic by topic, it will be helpful for you to get an idea, sort of what sort of questions you are going to be confronted with, and what are the things that you need to study and things like that. So therefore, we would strongly advise you to start trying mini quizzes from the time that they will be made available to you. And then when it comes towards the end of the session, you will be having access to the revision portal. And the revision portal for each topic, we will be having large number of questions and sometimes more than 100 questions per topic. So each topic will be open to you in a structured manner. And then you'll be given a specified number of dates. We'll be making everything clearer to you. And during that time, say, for example, say 1 month before the exam completion of the session, we may start opening the revision portal with topic-wise quizzes. And then these quizzes are organized in chunks of 10 questions each, so that at your leisure, whenever you have time, you can do 10 questions, 5 questions like that. You can do it based on your choice. So your revision portal, you will be giving access to all these topic-wise quizzes, and you can do this. And once you do everything, at the end of the session, you will also be getting access to 3 mock examinations at the end of the session. So that is what is going to happen. So you get, like Asank also has said, and sometimes you may have done a lot of study programs, but doing MCQs sometimes is slightly, the challenges are different. It is not that you know it, but you need to know the right answer, and you have to choose the best from the better answers. So therefore, it is very, very important that you do practice old one. This is what you will be getting. You'll be getting a plan like this. Hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Excel worksheet?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is what I told you. Like, say, these were different programs. Now, these are mini quizzes, right? So there are 8 topics broadly, right? And then this sort of a plan. You'll have separate study plan, but this is your revision plan. So topic-wise mini quizzes. So you'll get 5 to 15 questions per topic in mini quizzes. Each quiz is open for 2 days. This is a few questions. So then topic by topic, you'll be having access to these quizzes. And then you will be having your revision classes, 3 to 4 revision classes, depending on what phase you move on. And once you do that, you will be having this sort of topic-wise quizzes that, like I told you, you'll be getting them in, say, you will get 25 to 125 questions in each topic, depending on the topic and the complexity of the topic. And so you will say, for example, so financial services sector, your quiz will be open from this date to this date. And then thereafter, halfway through, the other quiz will be open. Like that, you'll be having all your quizzes. And once you finish the quizzes, you'll be given about a week's break. And then you will get mock examinations. Like there will be 3 mock examinations, and you'll be given the schedule in advance, right? And then, so this is how it goes. And then we will also prescribing you a time window to do your exam, like this. So this is what is very, very important. It is not just enough for you to follow the classes, understand the lectures. It's very, very important, this being MCQs, so you do follow, as well as you do these examinations, try them, so that will help you to do well in your examinations as well. So that's part of the story. And then let me move on further. And coming back to my slides. And hope you can see these slides now. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, great. So this is what I've taken you through already. And this is your registration payments to CISI. CISI registration fee is this is of course the candidates who join with us in Sri Lanka, and even those who are joining from abroad. Just let us know, we can get you the same benefit. You will be paying a registration fee of £25. So those who are already registered may have already paid this registration fee. This is the payment to CISI. And then when you want to register for the examination, when you book the examination, you need to pay the CISI examination fee, which is going to be £103. So these are the fees. What you pay to the Academy of Finance is your class fee for your classes, revision, material, everything. And this is what you need to pay to the CISI for your examination fee and registration fee, everything. And this program is scheduled over a period of 5 months. Is usually how it goes. And then on top of that, of course, your objective of joining this program is to get the certification and designatory letters from CISI. However, provided that you maintain 75% attendance and you participate in all 3 mock examinations, which I told you earlier, and get minimum 50% marks for each mock examination, then you will be getting an additional certificate from Academy of Finance as well. You'll be getting a certificate from Academy of Finance as well, right? So in order to get that, you need to have 75% attendance. You'll be monitoring your attendance and then participate in all 3 mock examination and get minimum 50 for the mock examination. So this is about the Academy of Finance certification. And what we expect from you is when you start the program, join the session on time and be present throughout. And then be present with your video on as much as possible. And also feel free to ask questions, seek clarifications, and discuss whatever that is required to get the best out of the lecturers as well as learn from each other. So these are minimum expectations from you. And of course, because what's going to happen is otherwise, the lecturer will see something like this, not even black and white. The lecturer will be seeing a set of black boxes with some letters appearing. So that will not be a very pleasant experience for the lecturers, right? It's very difficult to keep talking to a blank screen with black boxes without any interaction. I'm sure you are not going to be like that, but most of our crowds are like that, but not like that. But occasionally, sometimes we have classes where the integration, the interaction from the participants is minimum. So then you won't get the best of the learnings, you won't extract the best out of the lecturer, and you will not be learning from each other. So therefore, this is a very, very sincere request from all of you. Just be interactive, show your video as much as possible so that you have lively and interesting class. Having said that, in order to pass the examination, complete the examination, we want you to do all the quizzes from the beginning according to the type of schedule I've given you, showed you, and do all the mock examination and sit for the examination within the prescribed time window. And I must tell you, because what happens, what we have observed is having been in education for so many decades now, when there is a pen and pencil exam on a scheduled date, most of the participants, if they are somewhat confident, they will do the examination either to pass or fail. And most of them will obviously get through. But what happens is when this flexibility is given to the participants, and we are told that you can do the examination at any point of time at your based on your choice, what will happen with some of the candidates is they will continue to postpone the examination, because obviously your workload never is going to come down and you will never be working under less pressure in your workplace, and your family commitment will always be there. So it's just a matter of making up your mind. Now itself, when you join it, we will indicate within the next 1 to 2 weeks the time windows and everything. So plan your examination, your annual leave, everything, plan accordingly so that you finish your exam on time. And what we see is those who do the exam according to the time window that we prescribe, most of them, they are successful. And those who don't take the exam within that time window, they keep on postponing over and over, and they may end up either not doing the exam or following classes for another time to do the examination. So that's not what we want to do. We have put a lot of effort, given you access to a lot of quizzes and practice sessions because we want you to do the examination and pass it. And also remember, your material will be available until 3 months after your session finishes. Thereafter, it will not be available to you. And you need to do the quizzes within the time window that is provided to you. So therefore, you have to make up your mind seriously, put some effort, right? It's not a hugely challenging exam. It's a reasonably challenging one. And someone who puts reasonable effort, go through the material, videos, practices, definitely they will go through that. But just have plans to do that. Unless you only do it for knowledge purposes, that's a different issue. But having spent your money, why not get the qualification and the designated letters as well? So therefore, I think you should keep this in mind, and you should ensure that you practice your exams and do the exam on time. Right? Now, having said that, when we start the session, we also do a quick introduction to each other. So sometimes what happens is some of your faces we only see during the induction session and no more, because we will not be showing you videos, few. But at the same time, you will also get to know who is there, who else is there in your class with you. And also the lecturer will get an idea what sort of profiles are there in the classroom, so that he can pitch the class accordingly. So therefore, we usually have a quick introduction session of the participant. So in case any one of you is not willing to disclose you, tell about you, you can just say, pass me, right? Just then I will not be. What I'll do is, depending on the way these names are appearing on the participant list, I'll be calling you by the names. But if you like, just switch on your video and the mic and just introduce yourself. And if you are not, don't want to share your identity, just say, I'll pass, and then I will not be asking you. Would that be okay? Right. So I'll go according to this list. If you are not ready, just tell me, do it later. Okay, let me start with this. Ushan Manimendra. Ushan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, yes, I am Mushan. I am working at commercial bank.
Yeah. Also, just tell whether you are in the risk department or any other area. That also will be useful to the lecturer. Now,
I am doing the recovery. I am doing the recoveries at commercial bank, Baligan branch.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Ushan. And then we have, thanks, Chintaka Ranasinghe. Hi, Chintaka. Your line is not very clear, Chintaka. Hello? Right. I think, yeah. Okay, I'll invite you later, but we'll move on. Right? Amani Nanakkara. I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly. Amani, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amani from Ceylon Bank, attached to correspondent banking department.
Okay, thank you, Amani. And Anthony Fernando. Hi, Anthony. Anthony Fernando.
Hi, I'm Sunesh. My name is Sunesh Anthony Fernando. I'm from DFCC Bank, working at the risk department.
Excellent, thank you. Aarti Das. Hi, Aarti.
Hi, good evening to everyone. Thank you for arranging this session for us prior to the lecture. It's very much effective and useful. I'm working for HSBC, and a few of my colleagues are already there joining with me for this worthwhile course to go through. And I'm attached to the global third-party risk management team. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be under CISI roof.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Aarti. And Arun Kumar. Hi, Arun. Hi, Arun. Can we hear from you? Right. We'll come back to you later. Bevan Rodrigo. Hi, Bevan. Bevan. Right. Buddhika Jayasekara. Hi, Buddhika.
Hi, Kapila. Good evening. I am working for Equity Knowledge Partners, and I'm attached to the lending services vertical. Yeah, that's about
it. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Chaminda Pereira. Hi, Chaminda. Chaminda.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Chaminda. I work for Valuable Finance as a branch manager.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Chaminda. Charit Dharmasena. Hi, Charit.
Hi, sir. How are you? As I said, I'm Charit. I currently work as a management accountant of the DPM sourcing, it's a buying office. So basically, I am from the garment industry. I do have almost 20 years of experience in the garment industry, as well as I have completed my MBA at Cardiff Met as I'm CIMA qualified.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And then Daham Ekanayaka. Hi, Daham. Daham, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you well. Yes, Daham.
Hi, sir.
Hi, yes.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead, Daham. We can hear you clearly. Daham, we can hear you. Yeah. Daham, we can hear you. Hi, Daham, we can hear you. Please. Okay, we'll come back to you then. Dhananjay Disanayaka. Hi, Dhananjay.
Hello, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dhananjay Disanayaka. I'm currently working for Sampath Bank, and I'm attached to Corporate Credit Department.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. We have Fawaz Ansar. Hi, Fawaz. Fawaz.
Yeah, good evening. Of course, I'm Fawaz Anza. I'm of course based in Kandy. I'm from Amana Bank. I'm of course into branch management.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Joanne Ludwig.
Hi, I'm working at Union Bank as a credit analyst.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Dan. Thanks. And JS, would you mind introducing you?
Yeah, hi, Kapil, this is Janakan.
Yes, Janakan, hi.
Hi. I just thought I'll join this just to keep myself updated on knowledge. So I think it looks a great program. So thank you. So I'll keep in touch with you.
Okay, excellent. Nice to be in touch with you a long time, Janakan. Okay, we'll be in touch.
Thanks,
Sure. Kartika Turai Raja. Hi, Kartika. Yes, you are muted again.
Wait, sir.
Now we can hear you. You're muted again. You're muted again. Okay, we'll come back to you again. Lakshan Mahandiran. Hi, Lakshan. Lakshan. Right. Lalani Veeraperuma. Hi, Lalani, can we hear from you? Lalani.
Hello, hi, good evening. My name is Lalini, so I'm attached to HSBC. Currently, I'm doing a risk assessing job role. So that's a brief introduction about me, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Melanga De Silva or Melanga De Silva. Hi, Melanga.
Hi, yes, I'm Melanga. I'm attached to Asset Line Finance. I'm head of credit risk there.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And then I think I missed Mahadevan Sudhakar. Hi, Sudhakar.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I am Sudhakar, attached to HNB Finance Risk Department.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And then we have Nilesh Mendis. Hi, Nilesh. Hi, Nilesh. Right. Rajit Javadana. Hi, Rajit. Rajit, can we hear from you? Okay. Ranga Somavira. Hi, Ranga.
Hi, I'm Ranga Somira, working as a branch manager at Happy National Bank.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Rasika Kumar Singh. Hi, Rasika.
Hello, I am Rasika, working for Commercial Bank. Now I am attached to Velimada branch.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Rukshani Veerasekara. Hi, Rukshani. Rukshani, can we hear from you?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Rukshani. I work for Valuable Finance. I'm currently in the compliance division.
Okay, thank you, Rukshani.
You're welcome.
And we have Sachin Thiran Padmanathan. Can we hear from you, Sachin Thiran?
Yes, sir. Good evening, all of you. This is Sajindran Padmanathan. I am working as a branch manager in a reputed finance company.
What was the company you said?
It's a CISI Microcredit.
Okay, right. Thank you. Sanduni Mudalige. Sanduni, can we hear from you?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Sandhuni. I work at HSBC Corporate Banking as a credit analyst.
Okay, thank you, Sanduni. Selvalingam Thiru Vadu the Chelvan. Can you hear from you, Selva? Hi. Right. Shashika Veerasinghe. Hi, Sashika. Can you hear from you? Okay. Sri Vaikuntan. Can we hear from you? Sri?
Good evening. Good evening to all. My name is Sri Vaikuntan. I'm currently running an international school. I'm the principal director there. And I have worked for many finance companies and securities companies. So I have a great passion in this area. So therefore I wanted to join this program.
Okay, thank you, Sri.
Thank you.
Tarinda Amarasinghe. Hi, Tarinda. Tarinda, can we hear from you?
Hi, I'm Tarinda Amarasinghe. I work for Sampat Bank. I'm attached to Trade Service Department as a senior executive. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Tarinda. And then we have Tikshana Patirana. Hi, Tikshana, can we hear from you?
Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm a corporate lawyer for the last 7 years, I would say. Up until recently, I was a part of an Australian law firm as an offshore commercial lawyer in their mergers and acquisitions team. Now I've started on my own with my own group juniors. So I'm mostly into corporate aspects, legal aspects.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Tisum Vijayatunga. Tisum, can we hear from you?
Good evening, sir. Hope you can memorize me as in your class in MBA in entrepreneurship.
Yes, why not? Yes, definitely.
Yes, so currently I'm working for AIA Premium Agency Record, and I thought that it's better to join it this institute and get knowledge.
Okay,
so
excellent.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tisum. Nice to see you again.
Yes.
Tuan Kichilan. Hi, Tuan.
Hi, Kapila. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So my name is Tuan and I work for HSBC. I would love to switch on my camera, but unfortunately, I'm in the midst of a power cut, so it's technically dark here. So I'm attached to the global third-party risk management team.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Uma Dhanabalasingham.
Hi,
Uma.
sir. Hi, this is Uma Thanabalasingham. I attached to Commercial Bank. Now, currently, I work for Dankoto branch as assistant manager.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Viran Madhushankar. Hi, Viran.
Hi, good evening. I'm Viran Madhushanka. I'm attached to Navaloka Holdings as a management accountant.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Viran. Yasiru Ratnayak. Hi, Yasiru. Yasiru, can we hear from you? Right. Zafra Qasim.
Hi all, I'm Zafra. I'm from HSBC Bank as well. I'm currently attached to the Global Third Party Risk Management team. And yes, looking forward for the program.
Excellent. Thank you. Zimri Liabdin. Hi, Zimri.
Hi, gentlemen. I'm Zimri. I work for Capital Alliance Securities, and I head the foreign desk at the stock brokering arm.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. I think I have gone through the list according to the names I had here. But if there's anyone whom I missed or who could not speak, you can just give the opportunity. But I can see on the chat there is Chintaka from HNB, works at SMA unit. And line is not clear since I'm traveling. Can hear more info if necessary. So this is Chintaka from HNB. Anyone else who would like to introduce yourself, whom we have missed? We give another minute.
Hello, sir. I'm Nilesh. Sorry, I was out for a bit, sir. Currently, I'm working at Sampat Bank, and I'm attached to the travel department.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Nilesh.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I think we've pretty much gone through the participants. So once again, thank you very much for those introductions. That's very, very good. I think now you get an idea of what sort of participants who are going to be there throughout the session, as well as Charminder will be having a clear idea of the type of profile that we have in the class, which is going to be very, very useful. So let me take another couple of more minutes before I hand it over to Charminder. So you all got to know about each other. That's very, very good. And let me take a couple of minutes more before I hand over. In case you have, okay, I know whether Yasiru already spoke, but I can see from Yasiru from LOLC Holdings attached to Enterprise Risk Management Department. Yasiru from LOLC Holdings. Thank you, Yasiru. Right. So before I hand over to Ms. Charminder, please, I can open the forum for 3 to 4 minutes. In case you have any clarifications at this stage, I'll be more than happy to help you out on that.
So hi, this is Lalani. I have a question. In terms
Yes.
of the mock exams,
Yes.
is it done? How does it been done? So we have to come to the institute and do it?
No. Everything, like I told you, the type of schedule that I've shown you, you will be shared with those schedules. And then once you get into the rhythm, you will know today this quiz from this particular topic, quizzes from this topic will be open for 5 days or 7 days. You have that information. And then you can log on to our e-learning portal. And from the portal, you can go there and you can do it. You don't have to come here.
Even the mock exams and basically everything is nothing. We don't have to come to the institute, but everything is done through the links and all of that. Yeah.
Yes, you can do it, but they're timed, right? So the practice sessions are not timed, but the mock examination are timed. Actually, you do it within the specified time.
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
Any other clarifications?
Hi, sir. So to be honest, I just want to know one thing because I'm not clear about the path of this program. Yes, this is a 5-month program. So after completing this, so how it works? Are there any other stage? So how it works? Sir?
Now, actually, this program, if your interest right now is to get the qualification in risk-related areas, and you can complete this examination, and that may stand as a standalone qualification, and you will get the required, whatever the specific designatory letters, ACSI, you can get it. But apart from that, you can do this in combination with different other modules, right? And when you do it with these different modules, you will be able to progress through the qualification and you can go to a higher level qualification. That is also possible. What I will do is, I don't have that document, but definitely please get in touch with the person who is who has been communicating with you. That's there in the website as well. If possible, once Ms. Aminda finishes it, I'll share it with you, because there are multiple combinations of subjects that you can do depending on what your interest is. Now, say for example, like I showed you at the beginning, like say, in case someone who is interested about these licensing, practicing licenses, for example, you could go through, I'll come to that slide. Say this, say for example, risk in financial services with these different combinations of, sorry. Yeah, risk in financial services with these different combinations of subjects. Like say, if you want to be an investment manager, investment chief, in this, according to this framework, so you can do risk in financial services and wealth and investment management and advanced wealth management. But on the other hand, if it is, say, for example, if you want to look at risk management officer, according to this particular framework, you can do Introduction to Securities and Investments, a very basic paper, risk in financial services and operational risk. So this is from this employment opportunities point of view. But as far as the CISI qualifications are concerned, so there are specific combinations that is there in our website as well as CISI website. If possible, I try to show you before we wind up the session, and that will show you different pathways available along with the CISI Risk in Financial Services program. Right? I will show it to you. I will let you have that information. If for some reason, if you don't get it today, please get in touch with your contact person at Academy of Finance. They will show you all the details. Okay, anything else? Any other questions? Any other clarifications? Okay, let's move forward. Anyway, I will be there until the session is over. Ms. Aminda is going to take over the session. So basically, as far as the institute is concerned, if you're already registered, you complete the documentation, everything, and you will get access to the learning portal where the recorded videos and everything will be there. You can go through that. If you are interested, not registered, please get in touch with your contact person at Academy of Finance, and they will help you to complete the registration. So this is exactly what lies before you, in front of you. So it's up to you to take this challenge and take this journey with us. That's all that I want to tell you. Once again, any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Charminder for a brief lecture. Right. Okay then, once again, thank you very much for joining us in this evening and being with us. And I'm sure you're going to go through some interesting learning and a very useful learning, which will help you in terms of your expanding your knowledge, as well as acquiring qualification and getting better employment opportunities or move up in your career in the same workplaces, whatever the way you're looking at it. So now let me hand over to Mr. Charminder to take the rest of the session with you. Over to you, Charminder. Mr. Charminder?
Yeah. Hi, good evening once again. Today we are not going to do the usual lecture. I was listening to the profiles. We have a very little crowd currently working in the risk departments of banks, I think. Right? Just for me to get an understanding, can you raise your hand, or maybe you can use the chat box? Let me know those who are currently attached to the risk department, or you have been into the risk function before. I mean, some experience in the risk department. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. Great.
6.
We have about 6. So, and we also have some profiles outside the financial services sector. It's interesting, but let me tell you something before I start. when we talk about this subject, for some people, it sounds like a familiar subject, and you've been doing it sometimes for a longer period. But if you look at what we're going to learn in this course versus what probably you would have practiced in the banking sector in Sri Lanka, you'll find a lot of disconnects, because our practice has a lot of deviations from what we are going to learn. So I'm not going to discuss today, especially if you look at some of the job profiles. Sometimes you will wonder when we discuss some certain things, the tasks that we generally do under compliance function, we end up doing in the risk department. Sometimes the tasks that the management should do, we sometimes see risk department is overdoing their job. So there are certain gaps like that as well. So therefore, whenever I complete the course, I always give this warning before the exam. Don't try to understand the concepts or apply them at the exam based on what you do in your job role in the risk department, because there could be gaps in the area where we are going to discuss versus what you do. So let me share this presentation. I have a few slides today. It's not the usual technical presentation we do. Can you all see the screen? Can someone respond, please?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see.
We can. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what we generally do is, I do a presentation, and then this presentation is based on the content in the recommended textbook. And you will also get this presentation in advance when you start working on the course. So today is just an introductory session. Therefore, don't worry about the detailed content, because we are not going to discuss anything in detail. We only touch a few high-level topics or the introduction we are going to do today. Right. Give me a second. I have a question for you. You can use the chat box to respond. Right. You can see two modes of transportation in this picture. Don't worry about the surroundings in this picture. Just consider these two as a symbol, right? It symbolizes two modes of transaction, yeah, and on the ground. According to your view, which one of these two is riskier? A or B? Just don't think too much, just give your answer. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. B, A. Right. I can see some people who are already into risk is saying A. Both. Yeah. So you can't say both, because you need to find one over the other. At least if one is slightly above the other, both will have its own risk. I'm asking which one is riskier. Right. I would like to hear from someone who has said A. Why do you say A over B? What is the reason? You can even type, you can talk. Anyone who has selected A, what is the reason? Beyond your control, the mode of transportation. Beyond your control. What do you mean by beyond your control? Because you are a passenger.
I think A is the answer. Why I selected is because see, when you're up on the air, in my opinion, it's if something happens, the help is limited.
Wait, okay, right? That's your justification. A is high risk because we lose our life. Okay. Right, I think we have got few answers. I would expect others will have the same reasons. So those who selected B over A, why you selected that? Anyone?
B has more obstacles, I suppose. More evaluation. Someone can cross the road. An animal can cross the road. There's so much risk from the time you start. Start the way.
Those who drive knows the part. Okay. Any other?
I think B is because it's the groundwork. Risk is always due at the groundwork. Yeah.
Yep. So let's go with facts. From
There
your
is also in the chat they say there are more road accidents than I think
I just saw that you can still die from a plane crash, and statistically there are more vehicle crashes than plane. Exactly. So if you look at the numbers, you see more deaths reported on the ground than in the air. How often you hear a plane crash? And how often you hear about deaths on road accidents? I think the moment you see a plane, what you feel is, it's in the air, as someone said earlier. It's a do or die situation, right? If there's a problem, you have no way, you're going to die for sure. But in a road accident, you still can have a chance of living even if you meet with an accident. But what we have seen in numbers is that there are more accidents on the road and more deaths. Interesting, because aircrafts have two engines. If one fails, there's another. So there are a lot of precautions they take before an aircraft is taken off, right? There are certain checks and there are certain engineering evaluations, a whole lot of things they do. And then they have extra fuel, they have extra engine. And also they expect, in a worst case, for a crash land, or maybe in the worst case, they expect you to be prepared to land on sea. So there are a lot of preparations and precautions. But in a vehicle, sometimes you don't even wear the seat belts, right? You don't care about insurance, right? You trust the brake system, right? You just speed up and you never know if the brake works or not. So you just a lot of reckless driving happen on the ground. So see, this is something very interesting. People tend to pick the risk based on their perception and based on their attitude toward risk, based on their experience, based on their gut feeling, right? And also you have your own evaluation on the subject. But there are two aspects that we looked at in a broader sense when we identify this. There was one group who looked at the impact, the severity of the impact, right? What could be the damage? It's a death, right? If you are in the air. The other group looked at the chances of meeting with an accident. There are more accidents, right? There's a higher chance of meeting an accident on the ground than in the air. So these are two fundamental aspects we generally look at in risk assessment. I'll come back to the technical terms later. So just park it for the time being. I just want to see how we look at the things. Right. Here's another one. Right. In case of an emergency, in case of a change of plan, of course, you are taking a huge risk in the air than on the ground. Right. What is risk? So we are talking about risk. Any thoughts before I start talking about the version I have? Anyone wants to give a view, or you want to type your understanding about the risk? Don't worry about the technical terms.
Risk is what actually saves the entire company or anything from damages.
Can you repeat if you don't mind?
Risk is something that the team is something that would save the entire company or whoever from any possible damage.
Okay, any possible adverse. Okay, any other views?
Something happens beyond our expectation.
Happens beyond your expectation. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unfavorable results. Okay, that's I can see in the chat box. Unfavorable results. Okay. Future uncertainty. Here comes technical jargon. Future uncertainty. Okay. Any other?
Possibility to happen something wrong.
Sorry?
The possibility to happen something wrong in the future.
Possibility to happen something wrong in the future. Okay. Right? Anyone else? Right. I heard several terms. Okay. Something danger. Right? Uncertainty to receive unfavorable result. Okay, good. So we have different versions, different terms we use. So one thing we need to understand when we do this course is you've got to be crystal clear on the concepts if you want to get through this exam. You can't be on the fence, you can't have gray areas, you can't have ambiguities. This course is not that difficult in terms of concept. You will realize as we move on. Those concepts are not difficult, but these are not something that you need to by heart, like poems. These are things that you need to comprehend or understand. So you need to get the logic, you need to get the concept right. So when you get it right, you don't need to by heart anything, you can apply it. That's what we need to know, right? So therefore, there's a reason why I put these terms. We need to be crystal clear. So let me clarify that as we move on. So these are some of the things that we can hear. The possibility of something bad happening. So because risk is a negative term that we all know, right? We consider it as a negative term. In the workplace, we consider it as product of the consequence and probability of a hazardous event or phenomena, right? Something hazardous. In the finance world, we use this on both sides. Someone said earlier, the probability that an actual return on an investment will be lower than the expected return. That means the possibility of incurring losses. Right? You expect something, but actual sense, you won't get what you expected. That's one side. And if you look at in the insurance field, it says a situation where the probability of a variable is something that you anticipate, you know, it's a fire or life threat or any other things. It's known that you know what could happen, right? But you're not sure when it's going to happen and how much. For example, when you take a vehicle insurance, you have an expectation, you have some kind of a anticipation, my vehicle may meet with an accident, right? If you are 100% sure, right? If you're certain that you will not meet with an accident, you won't take an insurance. You will only take a third party because it's illegal to drive a vehicle on the road without at least a third party. So because you have some kind of an expectation and anticipation that you will meet with an accident, but you don't know when it's going to happen and you don't know the magnitude of it, then you take an insurance policy, right? So that's why that's how we look at risk in the insurance world. Right, these are some of the terms we use. And if you remember, when I asked this question, there were certain responses which had this word uncertainty. Uncertainty. In your view, do you think both risk and uncertainty sounds the same, or are they synonyms? Do they mean the same or different? How many of you think these are synonyms, right? You can use both these terms interchangeably, or do they have different meanings? Different, okay, right? Is everyone in agreement? Okay, yeah, I think, yeah, okay. So based on the response, I can see all of us agree that these two terms have different meanings. Now it's important for us to understand how these two terms differ each other, right? Right. Here are the possibilities. Here are the options. One, risk is equal to uncertainty. That means these two terms are synonyms, and we agree that it is not the case. The second option is all risks are uncertainties, but all uncertainties are not risks, right? All risks are uncertainties, but all uncertainties are not risks. That means risk is a subset of uncertainty. Uncertainty is the bigger pool and risk is inside that. That is one. The next interpretation could be all uncertainties are risks, but all risks are not uncertainties. What is that? In this case, we consider risk as the bigger pool and uncertainty is a subset. The next interpretation, some risks are uncertainties, some uncertainties are risks. That means there is a common area and there is an independent area as well. So to make your life easy, I'm going to show you 4 pictures. The first one, risk equals uncertainty. So the blue color one is uncertainty, red color one is risk. The second one is risk is inside uncertainty. Third one, uncertainty is inside risk. Fourth one, these two have their common area as well as unique aspects. Now the question to you is, which one do you think is a correct definition according to your way? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I see the answers? We are going to clarify our doubts and be sure of these concepts. 2, 3, 4, right? 2, 2, 2, okay. Okay, 4. All 4, my God, right? You can't answer all 4 at the exam. You have to pick one answer. 4 and 2. Okay, 4 and 2. I think more responses are for 4 and 2. Yeah, 3, okay. Right, 3, 4, 2. Okay. Right, except one, I can see the responses for all 3 of the rest. So don't worry. So we are here to learn this. So don't feel bad if you don't get the right thing. So this shows the level of understanding we have and the ambiguity we have sometimes on the subject. So today we are going to clear our mind on this and go home, right? If you're already home, you sleep with a clear mind. Right, 4, okay. So the correct answer among the given list is 2. All risks are uncertainties, but all uncertainties are not risks, right? Risk is a subset of the bigger pool called uncertainty. There are a lot of uncertainties around us. If things are not uncertain, there is no risk. Risk is there only when things are uncertain. I'll come to that, right? Just try to grasp it as I move on. I'm going to give you more and more reasons to justify. You'll understand this, right? For the time being, you keep that in mind. As we move on, I'll clarify it further. Now, let's take this word uncertainty first, right? When we talk about life, how do we explain? Do we say life is risky or life is uncertain? What do you say? In general, when we talk?
Uncertain.
Uncertain.
Life is uncertain, right? We say life is uncertain. Why is that? We all know we are going to die one day, right? But we don't know when, right? We might meet with an accident, we might get a heart attack, right? So, uncertain. So, we say life is uncertain. But do we also use the word risk with life? Do we use this word risk with life at any point in time or any instance? Yeah, in some situation. In what kind of situations? In what kind of situations? Racing. Wow. Yeah. So let's say if a person, right? If a person tries to go on a motorbike without the helmet, what do we say? Don't take a risk, right? Exactly. So when we have some clarity, when we have some confidence that a negative outcome will take place. Say, for example, when you go on a trip, right? You find a lake, right? You find a lake, and one of your friends say, let's go and have a bath. Then what do we say? Don't take a risk. You don't know, there can be crocodiles inside, right? So when you have a doubt about crocodiles, just then you start talking about risk, not about uncertainty. You never say, right, it's uncertain. You say it's a risk. So there is something now you can get clarity when you talk about uncertainty. In certain cases, we use the word risk. Now let's clarify this further. In what occasions we say risk and how do we demarcate the two as we move on? Now, this, for your clarification, is a dead person, right? He's not sleeping, he's dead, right? Is there a risk? Is there a risk for this person? No, because he's already dead, right? When there's no life, there's no risk of life. So the ingredient, the fundamental that is required for the person to face risk is not with this person. It is the life. He doesn't have life. So there's no risk. Not talk about risk. Not talk about uncertainty. It is certain that the person is dead. Then you have a person jumping out of a plane or a helicopter in a parachute. Is this person at risk? Yeah. So there is a chance, there is a probability that this person may lose the life, right? You never know if the parachute has a hole or it doesn't work well or she lands on a crocodile pool, right? You never know. So there is a risk. Now, this person has decided to suicide himself. This person has life, still not dead, but the person has decided to suicide himself. Is there a risk? Is there a risk there? What is the risk? Some says yes. What is the risk? There's a risk of living because he's going to die. If the pistol doesn't work, he's going to live. Is that the risk you're talking about? He has a risk of living and not dying. Yeah, you could change your mind at the last minute. That's a different story. Yeah, let's say there's no U-turn. He's decided, he's already decided he's going to go. So that means he is sure of his death. He's sure of his death. Or maybe he's already found guilty of a murder case. Now he's going to be hanged. It's certain now. Or he has a fatal illness. The doctors have clearly given the organs are not functioning. Maximum 2 days, right? His days are numbered. Now it's for sure the person is going to die. Now, is there a risk in that? When you know for sure that the person is going to die, is there a risk? No, right? Now it is very important to understand where the risk lies. When it is zero, because when there is no life, there's no question of uncertainty. When you are certain that something is going to happen, that means it is certain. There's no risk there as well. The risk lies when you are in between, right? If you are certain, there's no risk. When the circumstances or underlying reasons does not exist, there's no risk. Risk lies in between. So now we understand the risk is something that exists within uncertainty. If there's no uncertainty, no risk. But when there is uncertainty, you cannot say there is risk for sure. But risk is just one element, a portion of uncertainty. We'll get there. Right. Now, when we discuss the previous topics, right, or maybe you must have heard of this, there are two terms called possibility and probability. Possibility and probability. I hope you know the meaning of both. Right? I'm going to now clarify this. As you can see in this picture, there are three people. You have a man and you have two girls. So the one in the middle is single. One at the corner, right-hand corner, is married. Now, my question is, out of the three people here, who can get pregnant? I would like, I know the answer may be obvious, but I want to know what you have to say. Three. Okay. S and M, both, the two girls, 3, okay. Right. SNM. Yeah, I know. Unless it's a miracle, the first one, there's no way, right? It is not possible for the man to get pregnant. That is clear. And as someone said, I can see some of you have said M. Why you say M? Because she's married. But is marriage a necessity for a woman to get pregnant? It's a cultural thing, or it's a social factor, or you can call it whatever it is, right? But even the one in the middle has all what it takes for her to become pregnant. But there's a difference between the two. What's the difference between the two? So it is possible for S and M to get pregnant. It is not possible for the first one to get pregnant. So be clear first the possibility and impossibility. Within possibility, we have another thing. What is that? There is a greater chance for M to get pregnant, because generally when you are married, you probably can get pregnant. The chances of S getting pregnant is less, because that's what we know. So then the question is the probability, how likely, right? But both are possible. Now, risk, if you go back to the previous example, it is not possible for the dead person to have risk. So when you clear the possibility part, then you know whether you have a risk or not. The second part is how likely, right? That is what we call probability. So the risk lies in the green area again. So it should be possible, and then you look at problem. Let's get to the business world. In the banking sector, we talk about credit risk, right? We talk about credit risk. Don't worry about the others. I'm not going to put you in trouble. We are discussing all these concepts later in detail, right? But those who are in the banking sector, you know what credit risk is. What is credit risk? What is credit risk?
Not receiving the due balances.
Sorry?
Not receiving the due balances.
Yeah. Not the lender not being able to collect the money lent as well as the interest. Now, you can have higher risk or lower risk depending on the level of the borrower or the profile of the borrower and various other factors. So how can you eliminate credit risk? Can you eliminate credit risk? Can you eliminate credit risk? Yes, you can minimize. Can you eliminate?
No,
not 100%. I say you can. I am saying you can eliminate credit risk. How? Think about the guy before. Eliminate.
By having
With
collateral.
all what you're saying here, you're only mitigating the risk. You're only lowering the risk, right? You're not eliminating. The only way you can eliminate credit risk is don't lend. Don't lend, right? If you lend, you have a risk. If you don't lend, there's no reason for you to have risk. You follow? Therefore, there's no possibility. If the possibility is no, there's no question of risk. If the possibility is yes, then you have the uncertain area. Then you look at whether it's higher or lower. That's the probability. So both possibility and probability should be there for you to have a risk. Right. Now let's get into the point, right? If you go back to the previous case, the very first example I gave you, I told you, I'll come back to that with the technical word. With regard to the aircraft, right? You had a bigger impact, but the probability is less. With regard to the car, the probability is high. Right? The chances of meeting with accidents are high. Both have risks because it's possible. Right? Then if you look at ISO 31000, this is how they define risk. Effect of uncertainty on objectives, right? Effect of uncertainty on objectives. That's what they define. Effect, you deviate from what you expect, right? In this case, they look at both sides. Objective can be anything. So any expectation, any target, anything that you want to achieve, get diverted or will not achieve because of this, right? But this is not the exact definition of risk we discuss in this course. We will come to that later, but this is what we generally look at in the technical world. So getting back to the course, right? Up to now, I was just explaining you the general concept of risk and uncertainty. We have clarified one thing for sure now, that the risk lies within the range of uncertainty. So same way, if I'm asking you a question, if you know for sure that the customer, right, is not going to pay, is there an uncertainty or not? If you know for sure the customer is not going to pay, the customer maybe is dead or his company is bankrupt, so now you are certain that he can't pay. Is there a risk? No, there's no risk there. There's no risk because it's certain. Yeah, you know for sure that you're not going to collect it. If the probability is 100%, there's no risk, right? Don't get this wrong again, right? If the probability of occurrence is 100% or probability of occurrence is 0, in both these cases, there is no risk. Risk is when the probability is greater than 0 and less than 100%. That is where the uncertainty. If there is 1% chance for it not, right, for otherwise, that's what even cricket tells us, right? We witness the cricket matches. The cricket is one of the best games we can learn about uncertainty. Until the last ball, sometimes you can't tell the result. Right? So if you are certain, there's no risk. If the probability is 100%, no risk. Don't get this wrong again, right? So your losses, you can't consider as risk. Losses are certain, they are not part of risk. You only provide for uncertainties. You don't provide for losses. Right? We'll look at that. Sometimes we mix up the jargon with sometimes accounting terminologies and all that. We'll talk about it. Right. So this course is based on this manual. There's a textbook. In the past, they used to have the revisions to the manual every 2 years. Now the world has become so volatile, uncertain, right? Therefore now they keep on revising their manual every year. Now you can see this is for 2022 August 11 to 2023 August 10. That is the period. So if you sit for an exam within this period, this is the book that is relevant for you, which means the current course that you are doing, it's better for you to complete your exam before August 2023, because there's a possibility for a revision to this book after that. But what we have experienced is you won't get major changes to the content because there are certain agile content here. So they keep on revising some of those contents. So even if you pass August, it's what you are going to learn is not going to be a waste. We will anyway give a heads up and a revision to update about the improvements. Even this time we had to do that for the last batch. Those who could not complete the exam before the 11th of August, that's where the previous book applied, we gave them a revision and explained them the changes. So it's not a major thing, but just to let you know the validity of the book, right? And these are the topics we cover: principles of risk management, international risk regulation. This is where we talk about the role of banks for international settlements and Basel and all kinds of things. Then we talk about operational risks. I think these risks are familiar to the people in the banking sector. The credit risk, market risk, investment risk, liquidity risk, model risk, risk oversight and governance. Finally, the enterprise risk management, or ERM. So this is the order we have, and there is a weightage given for each topic. So you will get questions based on the weightage for each topic. So I will take you through when we do each topic, what's the weightage, etc. So we go in the order, learning one by one each of these concepts separately, and then eventually we combine everything. Right. Now, if I move forward, the word risk. Now I'm talking about the risk as per the syllabus or as per the subject we are going to discuss. Right? Now, according to this, every business faces risks that present the threats to its success. So there's no question about that. Every business faces risk. In the broader sense, in a layman's language, it's something harmful. Now, in the technical definition, how we define risk is impact into probability. Impact into probability is what we call risk. Remember, I told you earlier, when you talk about life, in general, we say life is uncertain. So we use the word risk only when we have some clarity about the risk we are taking. That is why we say calculated risk. Calculated risk. That means within the bucket of uncertainty, the portion that is measurable or quantifiable is what we call risk. Right? So in other words, the measurable component of uncertainty is risk. If you go back to the basics, why we want to know about the risk? Why do we want to know about the risk? Can someone tell me? Why do we want to know about the risk? Why?
To check the possibilities to way of mitigating it?
Absolutely. We want to know the risk because we want to manage it, right? There are different ways of managing risk, right? So for us to manage the risk, we need to have some kind of an idea about the quantum or the magnitude of the risk. You can't just say there's risk. For you to manage, you need to know the quantum, the measure. Then you can decide whether it's worth mitigating or just let it be. Say, for example, when you have a headache or when you have a pain in your stomach, you go to the doctor, you do a scan, you do various tests and figure out what has happened. Then you get to know, okay, someone say you have a stomach ache, then you check there's a hernia, right? Then you ask from the doctor, how critical is it to my life? Is it life-threatening? You say, no, it's just a couple of millimeters. Don't worry, you can live with it. So there is a risk. You identify the risk, then you can decide, should I do something about it or should I leave it? Let me embrace it. So when you manage this, there are 4 ways of managing risk, right? First one is you embrace it. That means you don't do anything, you just live with it. Second one is you transfer this risk. You transfer it to someone else, right? Third one is you reduce it, right? Then you mitigate it. So there are various ways of handling it. So when you talk about this, risk is a product of probability into impact. Impact is the financial loss. Probability is the level or the percentage. Right? Say, for example, look at the vehicle versus plane crash example again. If we are to quantify based on the impact, let's say the impact in the plane crash case, you are losing your life. Let's give some score for that. Losing life is 100, right? Breaking your leg is 25, right? Permanent disability is 50. Let's give some marks, right? Now, the probability is how likely. If you look at based on the historical patterns of plane crashes and all, one might establish, okay, there is only 5% chance that the plane will crash. So the risk for the air travel in that case is 5% into 100. That is just 5, right? 5 is your answer. The risk is 5. But if you look at the vehicle, I told you breaking your leg is 25. And if you look at the historical accidents, there is 40% chance or 50% chance of such accidents. Then 50% into 25 is 12.5. Now, which has the higher risk? Car has a higher risk, that is 12.5 compared to the plane, which was just 5. That is how you look at the risk, right? You just don't get excited by looking at the impact. You have to look at the probability as well, and then you weigh it. So the product of that is risk. In the banking sector or the commercial world, this is how you look at it, right? So you calculate you identify the impact, the financial loss, if risk materializes, how likely it will happen, and then you take the product of it as a risk. Right. Now, in this course, we are focusing on the risk specifics to the financial services industry. When it comes to financial services industry, there are unique risks that you need to consider. You may not find those risks in the other businesses, right? You won't find them in the hotel sector or general trade, plantations, right? Some of the risks we discuss in the financial services, you don't find it. So the financial services sector, you have various kinds of range of risks. So we discuss all those risk types in our course. And there's another interesting thing when we talk about the risk in financial services. So if you are running a business, general trade or buying and selling or hotel or whatever, you're managing the risk of that organization, right? The risk of losing your revenue, losing your profit, various other categories you identify. Your job is to manage the risk faced by the organization or the entity. But when you are in the financial services sector, you scope beyond managing your own risk. You also extend your scope to manage your customers' risk as well. Because if you lend to a company, you also worry about your company, because if that company doesn't perform well, you have a credit risk, you can't collect it. Therefore, you intervene, you watch, you monitor their risk as well. So that is the difference in the financial services sector. Unlike the other businesses, you manage your own risk as well as your customers' risk, right? So you manage your own risk for your owners, the owners of your business. If you are a bank, you have shareholders. You manage the risk for the shareholders. and you also manage the risk for your customers, right? And this is a summarized picture you find in the book in the first chapter itself, how you identify different risk aspects in a financial services organization. I'm not going to talk about each and every component here. You can see the different types of risk. You have the market, you deal with the markets and institutions, various other parties, and what you find in the middle, financial services firm, you can see the different types of risk: credit risk, market risk, liquidity risk, investment risk, enterprise risk, operational risk, right? So you have all these things, and you need to have a risk management framework. That's why, unlike other organizations in financial services institutions, especially banks, you have a separate department to manage risk. You have a chief risk officer. You have a board subcommittee, integrated risk management committee, right? Because risk is a major area in the financial services sector. You need to manage carefully, diligently, and you need a lot of resources to manage it. You don't find the same thing in other industries. In most cases, in other industries, this risk management component is taken care of by the CEO or the CFO, right? You hardly find a separate risk team, unless for large organizations, multinationals, conglomerate, you have it. But in general trade, other industries, you don't get it. Right. So I will not talk about the technical content beyond this. This is just to give you a heads up about what we're going to discuss. So at least I'm sure that you go home today, you leave this class with one thing clear, that is what is risk and how it is different to uncertainty. And you also learn what is unique in the financial services sector organizations. So today is not a technical session. Today is just an introductory session. I was just giving you a flavor of what we discussed. Before I get into the next slide, that is nothing to do with technical, just to give you a few tips about how you deal with the course and related to exam. Does anyone have any question, clarification on what I have discussed up to now? Or anything that you disagree?
Sir, I am very sorry to introduce me. Because of power cut, I couldn't access this internet. So sorry, I am Karthika. I am focused on entrepreneurship now. So this is a crucial event for me to get the knowledge in everything. So I want to clarify that what risk and probability. You said that mentioned that percentage of low percentage. I think so. Low percentage is more risk, and probability is more and less risk. That's correct, or any idea about that?
No. You didn't get me right. Yeah. It's like this. I'll give you an example, right? Let's say you said you are an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So you want to invest, right? Yeah. Let's say you are considering 2 businesses.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say you want to invest in export-oriented agribusiness.
Yeah.
Or you want to invest in a general trading business, buying and selling.
Yeah.
Assume for the time being A and B, right? So you have 100,000 with you. That is your investment.
Yeah.
Now you want to assess the risk between the 2 options.
Yeah.
Let's say this 100,000 you can put in business A, that is the export business, or business B. Now you do some research.
Yeah.
You go to other people who have done similar businesses. You go to the institutions, experts, and you identify.
Yeah.
Your maximum loss is 100,000. That is what you are going to lose, right?
Yeah.
In both cases. So, assuming that when you do this business,
yeah,
the guy on the export-oriented side says, yes, based on my historical experience, 25% chance you will lose the business.
Yeah.
25%, right?
Yeah.
25% chance that you will lose. 75% success rate.
Yeah.
You go to the other one who is doing a general trade, that guy says, there's a 50% chance that you will succeed. then 50% chance you will not succeed.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at both options, in terms of risk, your risk is not that 25% or 50% alone. You will get how much is the loss in financial terms. In the export business, I'm going to lose 100,000 with the 25% chance.
Yeah.
Then my risk is 100,000 into 25%. That is 25,000.
Yeah.
That is the risk score, right? Risk value.
Okay.
The second business, 100,000 into
50.
50.
Yeah.
How much is that?
50,000.
50,000. Which one has a higher risk?
50,000.
50,000. Which one would you select? Export or trading?
Less risk I can select.
What is that?
That is a
Which one has less risk?
General business.
General business, what was the figure?
25, 75.
General business, 50.
Okay. So I choose the export.
Export, because that is in terms of risk, that is less risk.
Okay.
Now you understood?
Yeah, everything clear. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Right, great. So I think we must, I must make an appeal from the bankers here, right, who are somewhat conversant on the subject. So we have to bear with the rest of the people who have little knowledge on the subject, and some of the concepts are new to them. So you have to bear with me when I explain them and give them a chance to clarify their doubts, because at the end of the day, we all need to go on the same journey. But at the same time, those who are at the high end, you're more than I'm more than happy to entertain any high-level questions, clarifications you have at your level. Doesn't matter, even if it is not within the topic that we discuss, as long as it is relevant, you're free to clarify those things, so that the class is not going to be boring for you. You also have something to grab, right? So let's work on that basis, so that we can make sure everyone is entertained, right? So few tips I want to give you at this point. Attend and participate. Right. Attending is one, participating is another, because now I can see everyone is attending here, but I'm not sure how many of you are participating. Some may be scraping coconut, some may be entertaining their kids, some may be watching TV. I don't know. It's up to you, only you know. So your participation is important. As I told you, it is not going to be a theoretical class that you are going to by heart and write, like what she clarified. Right now, she is clear. You need to be clear on the concept, right? If you don't get the concept, you will struggle at the exam, because this is an application question paper. They will not ask the definition of risk. Sometimes they will give a scenario that will have the component of risk and uncertainty. You should be able to figure out which one is the risk. If you don't know the concept, you can't apply. Therefore, you can ask as many questions as possible to clarify your doubts, be clear on the concept. And another good thing is that if you get the concept right once, you will never forget it. It will get registered, right? Then challenge and clarify, because I am not the God, right? I never say I know everything. So you are always free to challenge what I'm saying. If you have any doubt, clarify. You don't have to accept everything what I say. Probably I'm talking about the syllabus, and based on that, there could be gaps between what I talk about and what you practice in your organizations. Then at least I can clarify why there is a gap between the two. Or if I am not clear or I'm not competent to respond to you, at least I will find it and let you know even at the next class. So please do so, because I am not a master or a god here. I'm also learning. I'm a facilitator. I'm helping you to get the things clarified. So I also can make mistakes. Therefore, be vigilant. Then do not merely link what you do, right? As I told you, don't link what you practice to the theory, what we discuss here. And as I told you, don't go by the words, get the concept right. You will get enough of things like this. I just clarified you about the basic concept of risk today. As we move on, there are a lot of concepts we are going to learn, right? So you need to be clear on those for you to answer, because we will realize when we start doing the papers or the revision, this is multiple choice question paper. You will find at least 2 good answers. Now you need to pick between the 2. So if you are not clear on the subject, you will find it difficult to pick the correct one between the 2. Keep reflecting and applying, because most of you are currently in some roles that may have an element of dealing with risk. So try to apply what you learn in the class. Go and discuss with your colleagues, challenge them, and see how you can do it differently. So if you learn something new, go and see how you want to practice it. So that will polish your knowledge. And as I told you, don't delay the exam for 2 reasons. One is when you delay, you tend to forget things and syllabus is getting outdated. The second thing is, as I told you, especially if you are currently in a risk-related role, if you delay it, there is a possibility that you will go to the exam and try to answer based on what you practice than what you have learned in this class. That might be unfavorable for you if your practice is different to what we learn. I know for sure in most of the banks in Sri Lankan context, I have seen that there is a difference between what we learn here, which is a technically, logically arranged content, versus what we do in reality in our day-to-day life, right? Right. That's it from my side. So probably we are going to start the proper class from the next session onwards. So I'll anyway recap what we have discussed today as well with the first lesson. If any one of you have any further questions, clarification, I can give you about 2 minutes and then I'll hand it over to Kapila for the next steps. Any comments, any feedback, any questions, clarifications, you can say anything. Or if it was boring, say that as well so that I can improve next time. No questions? Thank you for the feedback. Right, I think all good. Kapila, I think you can.
So excellent explanation and very effective and efficiently. Thank you so much for your time and everything. Thank you.
No problem, my pleasure. You will learn more if you come to the class and stay throughout.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Tharmendra. Thank you very much for taking your time on a difficult day like today. I know the circumstances, risk and uncertainty. Right, okay. So once again, I would like to thank all the participants. But before that, I think one of you had a doubt about the CISI qualification structure. And now, since it's almost 9 o'clock, I will not go to the details of explaining it. But however, what I did is I just shared on the chat the document with all the details about the qualification structure. Please go through that, and whatever the doubts that you have, you can get it clarified like this, because it takes time for me to explain it. But if I just quickly show you, it's so there are different pathways that you can take, which are color coded here. This is risk-related pathways, and these investment operations-related pathways, these wealth-related pathways, and you can keep on accumulating your qualifications to different level, and you can go up to the master's level, and with some streams. So not all the pathways are offered to us, but just go through this, and depending on your interest, please give a call to our staff, or in case you need to get in touch with me, please get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to help you. But this takes time, so I will not take you through this anymore. But if you are interested, you can get this through the internet site, or else you can download from the chat for your reference. Okay, so that's all about that. And any other questions, clarifications quickly before we wind up the session? Any other quick clarifications?
Sir, I'm Karthika, sir, Kapila, sir. Because
Yes.
one question from me. This computer-based exam is providing on your own home or at your institution? We have to come here.
Actually, you can do it either way. You can do it at your home as well as at the CISI Institute. But however, due to the internet quality and various other complications, the power cuts and things like that, we would always advise you to do the examination at the CISI Examination Center. But you can do it either way.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure. Any other clarifications? Okay. Timing of the lecture, Chaminda, our usual timing has been 7 to 9:30. Chaminda, would you like to add on to that?
Yeah. So today we start a little early, but our usual time is 7 to 9:30, and we take a small comfort break in the middle, and then we continue because it's 2.5 hours effectively.
Yeah, and we take time to start also 7 o'clock because some of you are on the road commuting. So therefore, we give time so that 7 o'clock you can be at home and you can concentrate on the lecture. And sometimes Chaminda also has his assignment. So this has worked well in the past. So we plan to continue it the same way. Any other questions? Okay, so then we are going to wind up with that. Once again, thank you. I think Janakan, hope you got the answer. So 7 to 9:30. Once again, thank you very much, everyone, for being with us. And I'm sure you would have had some useful learning. And way forward, if you're registered, just get in touch with the team. Within a couple of days, you'll get access to the e-learning portal. If you have decided the others who are not registered yet, please get in touch with your contact person once again. They will help you to do the registration process. Okay, thank you. Good luck. Thank you, Chaminda, for taking your time. So we'll wind up with that, and good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Good
everyone.
night. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks, Kapila. Thanks, Kapila.
Right. Okay, I'll end the session. Thank you.